So the Alex Phillips situation is really not getting any better, as she's now been caught for being a complete hypocrite, which we'll look at. And Bridget Phillipson, who we've spoke about numerous times before on this channel, and is the government's supposed Minister for Women, just got called out by the BBC for claiming that she desperately cares about the safety of women and girls. And I mean, it's obvious she doesn't care about the safety of women and girls, as no one in this government cares about the safety of women and girls. If they did, they simply would not house unvetted, third world men who just broke into our country in facilities right next to them. But it's even more ridiculous for Phillipson to say, as she has a repeated televised pattern of voting against their interests while she's been in government, like when she voted against a national inquiry into the grooming gangs, or when she refused to vote for a parliamentary investigation into Peter Mandelson.
If Sir Keir Starmer is so sure of himself, why has he compelled every single one of his own MPs to vote to back him today? Wouldn't they just have done that of their own accord?
It's a stunt, and it's a stunt by the Conservative Party, and Labour MPs can see that for what it is, and it's right that we vote it down, and I look forward to voting it down.
Yeah. So voting against an investigation into whether Starmer knowingly appointed the best friend of the world's biggest nonce seems like a great way to prove that you actually care about the safety of women and girls, Bridget. What about the women in Epping when they were protesting to get the Bell Hotel shut down because an Ethiopian boat criminal assaulted a 14-year-old girl? Did Bridget fight for those women to keep them safe? Or did she back government lawyers who fought to keep it open when they were saying, quote, the rights of asylum seekers are more important than the rights of local residents?
Of asylum hotels by the Conservatives that increased enormously at enormous cost.
Yeah, you keep going back to the Conservatives.
And I want to ask you, yes, but it won't be a quick fix. We will sort it.
Your lawyers, under your guidance, have said in terms that the rights of asylum seekers are more important than the rights of local people in Epping Forest. Would you at least acknowledge that that is what they will hear? And it's up to you. Ministers can say, we agree with that, or we don't agree with it. You can't simply say, let's balance things. Do you agree with what your lawyers said, or don't you?
Yes, of course we do. But
oh, what was that, Bridget?
Do you agree with what your lawyers said, or don't you?
Yes, of course we do. But
okay, so you think foreign men's rights are more important than the safety of women in Epping? Well, that's interesting, but please continue. Continue telling us how much you care about women, Bridget.
It's almost hard to put into words just the sheer scale of failure that left a very violent and dangerous man who clearly posed a significant risk to women free to roam the streets, to do harm and to murder women when he should have been locked up. Now,
August 2024, recalled to prison after being accused of rape, freed early. November 2024, assaults 2 more women, freed on bail. Late 2024, freed again on bail. 2025, arrested in connection with the murder of a woman and then bailed, having been arrested in connection with murder. May last year, charged with 5 sexual assaults, appears in court, bailed. You've got a man who's been charged in connection with murder, 5 sexual assaults, a litany of other charges, including theft of an Oyster card from a bus driver, and then as recently as August of last year, he misses 2 Crown Court hearings. What action does the court system take? Nothing. No immediate arrest warrants. So yes, the Met and BTP, British Transport Police, have much to answer. But surely we look to the CPS and courts, and why aren't they forced to put someone up for this abhorrent failure?
In response to the Met Commissioner and others who've raised questions around resourcing, we're investing more in policing, of course we are, and there are always questions about how we prioritise decision-making and where efforts are best directed. But this goes way beyond questions of that kind. This is about how all of us, right across government, and how all of us in every area of public life where we are responsible for keeping the public safe and for protecting women, have to do more and have to do better. I've lost count of the number of times I've come on this programme, other outlets, to talk about another shocking failure where a woman or a child has been failed or harmed or murdered or seriously let down. Because we don't, as people like to always say, learn the lessons. I've had enough of this. Let's learn the lessons. I've had enough of that. We just need to get on and we keep saying we need to.
About this, you can't come onto the programme and say to women, "We are keeping you safe. We are doing everything that we can to keep you safe." You're unable to say that, which must be a personal disappointment to you.
Well, we clearly did not. In the case of this awful, awful individual, women were left at risk of harm, and women lost their lives and were abused by an individual who should not have been out on the streets. There is no getting away from them.
I mean, these people really do make you sick, don't they? They honestly think we're absolutely stupid. This woman thinks she can go on our national TV and gaslight us about how much she cares about women, even though we have all the proof to the contrary, which I just showed you. It's really just astonishing how arrogant and shameless Labour politicians are. They're an absolute disgrace. I honestly despise them all.
I'm minded to send the man a Jeroboam of kosher wine and a box of celebrations to say thank you, quite frankly. I think he is being extremely strong in all of this in the face of everything. Now, what we do know as well is Netanyahu is meeting with his war cabinet, I think probably as we speak right now, to determine next steps in other parts of the seven front war.
So that was Alex Phillips talking about how much she loves Bibi Netanyahu. Now, like I've said before on this channel, I really don't care about the Middle East. My opinion is Hamas is a death cult and they sacrifice their own people, including their children, as propaganda to get foreign aid and to trick gullible retards in the West into protesting for them. I mean, we literally have gay people out protesting for a terrorist organisation that would throw them off a roof for being gay if they got the chance. I mean, it's totally insane. But anyway, that clip of Alex was from 2024 where she was glazing Israel's Prime Minister for being strong in the face of all his enemies. Now, to do it in 2024 is certainly one thing, because at that point she hadn't condemned Restore Britain for being, quote, ethno-nationalist, which is factually wrong, by the way. No one at Restore has ever claimed to be an ethno-nationalist. But regardless, like I said, Alex must have changed her opinion since then, because Israel is literally an ethno-state. I mean, it's literally written into their form of founding documents, quote, "The state of Israel is the nation state of the Jewish people in which it realizes its natural, cultural, religious, and historical right to self-determination." So considering Britain is the nation state of the British people, and we're defined as a distinct ethnic group who have been on these islands for thousands of years, like for example, I'm 24% Celt, so some of my ancestors have been here for literally over 3,000 years. But according to Alex Phillips, it's beyond the pale for me to want the British Isles to remain native British. So again, she must have changed her opinions on Israel too, since that clip in 2024, right?
Talking about sensible, good old Benjamin Netanyahu. I'm still his, one-woman biggest fan. Everything that man says, I'm just like, get in, son. Because he has such backbone. He just has spine, and he just goes like, I'm looking after my country. My country comes first. I don't care how much hatred the world throws at me. I'll do what I want, and I'll say what I want. And I'm like, exact.
Oh, so that was from yesterday. So according to Alex Phillips, it's completely fine for Israel to put their people first and not caring about what anyone else has to say about it. But when anyone at Restore Britain dares to say the same thing, she melts down for over a month and calls us all racists. What an absolute hypocrite. I mean, I'm so sick to death of these fake right-wing subversives in the mainstream media who pretend to be patriotic, but then go out and call everyone racist for simply wanting the same form of government as Israel. A government, by the way, that they all seem to love. It's just an absolute disgrace, and on this issue, this woman has lost all credibility in my eyes. But anyway, please let me know what you think about this in the comments, and thanks for watching.